Okay.
All right. Hey guys, thank you so much for hopping on and taking time out of your night. We're going to treat this like a mastermind and kind of like a Q&A, but we also just wanted to kind of talk on a couple things really quick that I think is going to be helpful for new coaches and coaches who have been in the business too. So something that we wanted to touch on was kind of like the bread and butter of our business, which is challenge groups. So we know most of us were, attracted to even joining Beachbody through a challenge group. We wanted to join one, and then that's probably for a majority of the people, not everyone, why we then became coaches, because we fell in love with it. We had a great experience, and we just kind of took that next step. So something as a new coach that you should be doing, and as someone who's been in the business, is hosting a challenge group every single month, no matter what. It's something that from day one of my business, the day I signed up, I created an event page and hosted a group. And almost 3 years later, I have one, if not multiple sometimes, each month. And I think where some people can kind of have this like lag time in their business as far as getting people to join, hitting Success Club, and all of that type of thing, is that they focus so hard on filling up one group. And then that group is, full, and they're hosting the group, 3 weeks later or whatever. And now you're hosting this 3-week or month-long group, and for that whole 3 weeks or month, you're not even thinking about talking to people during that time period about your next group. You don't really start to think about that until that last week of your challenge group, because you're so focused on the group that's happening. And it's not a bad thing, obviously, to be really engaged in your challenge group, but that's where we can create that gap in our business. And this comes from personal experience. This comes from, just seeing like how other people work their businesses. And this is something that, like, if you can nip in the butt, you're always going to be talking to people. You're always going to have people to follow up with, and you're always going to have people to then invite to your next group, which in return is going to lead you into hitting Success Club every single month, which, is obviously should be a goal of all of ours. So Car's going to talk more about how she prevents that gap in her business, because we want you guys to know, like, there's always a group to be inviting to. I think some people think like I have to plan out this big challenge group that's going to be for each month, when it's like you should just know in your mind, like, I'm going to host a challenge group at some point in each month of the year. So you don't even need to know when it's starting. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to know the details. You don't need to know the names. When I first signed up as a coach, I used to come up with all these fancy, it used to take so much time trying to come up with like a fancy name for my challenge group. And it's like now I literally will call them all the same thing if I want to. So like the pretty things don't necessarily matter. It's just knowing you're going to host one, so that even if your current one has started, you're talking to people and you're like, yes, let me get you set up for my next group. And even if you work with a partner and you host groups with a couple people, or, you're not sure the date or whatever it may be, maybe you only have one person that wants to join you that month for a group, or there's like this weird lag period where like you have someone kind of in limbo. There's always somebody hosting a group. So like me and Car now host our groups together pretty much every single month. But like there would be a lot of times when we wouldn't do that. I'd be like, do you have a group starting on Monday? Because I have this girl who like signed up and she wants to start right away. She doesn't want to wait 2 weeks until my group starts. And she'd be like, yeah, add her in. So like there's always somewhere to put someone. So she's going to go ahead and kind of talk about how you can prevent that gap in your business, so that you can just keep continuing having those conversations and constantly inviting to a challenge group.
Okay. So this is where like the technical nitty-gritty stuff comes in. But obviously still super important. So the first thing is to plan your month out ahead of time. So maybe even before January, like January 31st, even before February would start, what I try and do is I sit down and I look at my month and I say, okay, what Monday would be the best Monday to host a group? And I generally try and pick at some point between the middle of the month. And then that way, as I'm posting and as I'm talking to people, I know, okay, my group is going to start February 20th. And I do that before every single month. And if you plan out your month before it happens, you won't get to like February 24th and you're like, well, shit, I haven't posted anything about a group. The month's almost over. I didn't host one. And now I didn't help anyone get committed to their health and fitness goals. So if you can step back and just look and just pick a day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's the first Monday of the month, if it's the last Monday of the month, as long as something is on your calendar to host for people to join, you won't have to have that freak out moment when the month's almost over and you haven't planned it or posted it or even talked about it with other people. The second thing I have is have post templates. So I don't know if you guys all know, but we have a Google Drive in our team files section of our team page. And if you click on that, the TGS Google Drive, there are, I think, maybe two separate folders. One is like a 30-day imagery challenge for your challenge groups that you can use. And another one are just examples of a 21-day accountability group. And there are posts for every single day in there that you guys literally can just copy and paste. You can make it your own. You can use the exact ones. But having posts that are readily available for you to just throw in there and know, like, if I'm going to host a group, I have all the resources. I have all of the posts. All I have to do is add people in there who have committed with a challenge pack, and everything else is done for me. So if you don't know where those are, it's just in the Google Drive that we have in our Team Files team page. Feel free to make up other ones that you guys have. Like, you guys can create your own. You can kind of play around with it. But what we've realized is if we kind of just wing it, all of a sudden it will be 12 o'clock on a Tuesday and we're like, oh my gosh, no one's posted yet today. I didn't even post the post yet for today. I got to make that up at some point today. And then it's 7 o'clock at night. You still haven't done it. And then, you know, people have kind of surpassed it and you forgot about it and then it never happens. So always make sure that you're using post templates, whether they're ones you made up or ones from the team, because there's always going to be something there for you. If you're hosting a group in the My Challenge Tracker app, for those of you who are new coaches, it's basically like we have our own portal where we can, as coaches, schedule posts, and we can track, and our challengers can track our workouts and our shakes and post whatever else we want to post. And it kind of like gives you a pat on the back every single time that you log something. So if you're hosting groups through the My Challenge Tracker app, it makes it even easier to create and host a group because you can schedule everything, you know, just take maybe 30, 40 minutes on a Sunday, schedule all of your posts, schedule recipes, schedule meal plan pictures, schedule post your food for today, or, day 7 post, share your best, what you're proud of or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but you can schedule everything. So as long as you just pick a date, you don't have to worry about checking in every single morning and making sure you get that post up if you host it in the My Challenge Tracker app. And then the last thing, kind of just touching on what Ashley was saying, always be inviting. So it doesn't matter if you actually have a group coming up, or if it's, say it's January 27th and you haven't even set your group date for February yet. It doesn't matter when it is, but if you're talking to people and you're constantly trying to help people get committed to their health and fitness goals, you will find a group to put them in. So I think what kind of the back flip side of that is if you're talking to people and then you're adding them into a group and you're seeing that lag time in your business of, okay, well, now I haven't helped anyone this month, but it's because I'm running my challenge group and I'm focusing on helping all of them. One, you're slowing down your momentum of helping more people. And it's not going to be as consistent for people who are following you that, you know what, February might not be a great month for them, but you haven't even posted anything about hosting your next one. So they don't know if you're doing it every month. But you have those followers who are like, okay, I've been seeing every single month she hosts a new one, or she's always has a group going, or she always has something that she's hosting for customers, challengers, whatever. So if you're posting about it, even if you don't have a date, you're going to always get people who are going to want to commit. And that just goes hand in hand with just constantly inviting, regardless if you have a set date for your group or not. But that's basically just like the steps to kind of prevent having that lag time of helping like 10 people and then helping nobody, and then helping like 5 people and then helping nobody. Do you guys have any questions at all about anything that we just touched on, or anything else you want to add to that, Ash? I got to put my headphones in. I think Nick's home.
You guys don't have the luxury of hearing like Aiden like screaming and trying to pop on camera. He's not home right now. No, I think that basically covered it. And like she was saying, we just wanted to touch on that because we noticed like it's something that you should catch right when you start as a coach. But also it's just like if you've been a coach and you do have those months where, like she was saying, you know, you help 10 people 1 month and it's like you're on fire, you're doing amazing, and then the next month you do absolutely nothing. And it's like, because you're not just like, you'll always see me and Car just throw up an invite and it won't always say like join my Fit in February group. It'll just be like, need accountability, join my group, you know, like so you don't have to like put the label on it. You don't have to do anything like that. And even in those private conversations, I have an accountability group, you know, is that something you're interested in? People don't even really care when it is. It's just like you're telling them that you host these groups and that when they're ready to commit, you're going to put them somewhere. And that's just going to, like what Cara was saying, help keep your momentum. And that is the easiest way, hosting a challenge group and always hosting one, to help 3 to 5 people every single month. And if you do that, and you know, I would even, Car went live, if you guys missed it, earlier today about how to create an event page. For some newer coaches, that's the best way to start. When you're like, I'm going to host a group, what do I do? Go watch her. We're going to put it on our YouTube channel too, but the recording should just be like in the timeline of the Gold Supremacy page. But creating an event is the easiest way to just get it out there, inviting all of your friends, and then you can have those private conversations. But even as like, that was something that we did every single month as a new coach. We picked our date and we set up an event page, and then we kind of shied away from that for some reason, you know, because we were having those conversations. So we were like, I don't know, it's just kind of like you build your momentum and then you're like, well, I don't need an event page because I'm talking to people anyways. But now we've drawn back to that because it's the easiest way to get those people interested in the door to those private conversations if you have no idea where to start. And doing that every single month is going to be key in your business. And like Car was saying, obviously the app is the easiest way, because then you can kind of enjoy the group too. And just, you know, we should always be participating as a challenger ourselves. Kind of like I was talking earlier to someone, is that like when we become coaches, we kind of switch our mindset a little bit, and we go from, not to kind of stray off topic, but we're in a challenge group. We're loving the process that we're in. We're loving how we feel. We're working out, we're eating healthy, we're drinking Shakeology. We love the way we feel. So we either sign up for the discounts or we want to help people feel the way that we want to feel. But then you sign up as a coach and you have a mindset shift sometimes into, now I need to be management mode. I need to be coach. And it's like, yes, you are going to help lead people, but like you still need to be that number one challenger. So like if you're participating, if you're just constantly on your health and fitness journey in your challenge groups, you're going to keep posting them because you're just going to be moving along as you do new programs and, try new things. Because you're going to be looking forward to that accountability yourself. So that's the biggest thing too, is like, if you're always on your fitness journey, you are always going to be hosting a group anyways. Cause I don't know about you guys, but like when I have a group going, I do my best because I'm like, oh, I got to check in because all these other girls are. So it's a same kind of thing. So don't, just because you become a coach, don't feel like you have to switch into that like coach mode. Now I need to be like this robot of some sort and then forget about yourself, because any coach in this business, any top coach in this business will tell you like key to success is like number one, focusing on you and your journey through everything first, and then you'll be able to help people with theirs. Does anyone have questions on just like challenge groups or like the app or anything? And then we can just kind of move it into, if anyone has any general questions or anything, we can chat about whatever. You guys can unmute yourselves, or if you're not sure how, just raise your hand and then Car can unmute you, but it should just be like in the left-hand corner of your screen.
For those of you who either are participating in a team cup or just a veteran coach or even new coaches who have kind of talked about it at least, do you guys all have a date set for your February challenge group? Okay. And are you guys doing also like event pages, or do you not do those anymore? Have you never done one before?
I did it. Oh.
No, go ahead, Elise.
I did an event page. I kind of copied off of Ashley's.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't know. I messaged her and I was like, hey, I'm stealing your verbiage for this.
No, that's what it's there for. Our stuff is your stuff.
Okay, I'm doing this on my phone right now and I can't see like the gallery view, so this is like so confusing and I don't know who's on. I can't see anything.
If you swipe, you can see like 4 people at a time. But now you're muted.
Okay, let's try again.
Good.
I was just going to say, so I never did event pages, like probably like the first year. I never made one ever. I just always would invite, like kind of do cold invites or just go off of people that were liking my fitness posts on my fitness page. And it was probably like, I want to say, when did we start? Like maybe around Summit, like in July, I made my first one. And I feel like from that point forward, it became a total game changer. Like I feel like people are so much more inclined to hit the interested button than they are to hit a like on a post for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have found that is my biggest generator of conversations. So I don't think I'd ever do a challenge group without creating an event page. Like I haven't since I discovered that it actually, for me, I get way more interest from people that have never even responded to anything I've sent them when I do one of those pages. But I think the other thing is not just setting it up, but when you're consistent with posting in that event for maybe like 5 or 6 days, maybe like a full week, where I've created them before and okay, you get a little traction, but then you like follow up with those people. So you never really do anything else with the event. I feel like you kind of lose out on what you could, but I found when you post, it just keeps reminding those however many 100 people that, hey, I'm still waiting for you to click a button. And I find that really helps too.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree with that. Like, I've always done event pages, but it wasn't until a few months ago I started posting like every single day in the event page and do like what you're talking about this morning, Car, with like the transformation pics and, you know, just reminding those people. It's made a huge difference because people are like, oh, you can actually lose weight on this. And so it definitely helps. I agree with Andrea.
Well, and I think too, like, even if they don't click interested or going, they see your posts and they'll like it. And then you'll have like, hey, I saw you liked the transformation post I posted in my event page today, like whatever, kind of respond to that and then say, were you interested in joining the fitness group, or were you just like giving a shout out to whoever, Samantha or whoever it was?
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely opens the door to have that no pressure conversation because they clicked, joined, or interested. And then what they were saying, just like posting in the event page too, like there's been a bunch of times where people will say they're joining because sometimes people get invites to challenge group, or not challenge groups, but just events all the time, and they'll just, you know, click and not realize what they're clicking on. So I've messaged people and they're like, oh, I didn't even know like what it was. And so it's like, if you're still posting in it and then they're like getting a pop-up notification that, you know, Ashley posted in such and such, then they're seeing like, oh, this has to do with like fitness and like this is what the group is about. And then like what I did in my group is I have like 6 people that are driving me crazy, but like they're not getting back to me. Like it's just been like such big spans of time and they're all interested and like ready to get started. So I tagged them in my post in my event page. Like, so I'm not calling them out publicly, like on my Facebook page, but in an event page, you know, yesterday, for example, I had posted like a Super Bowl special and I tagged them all in it. So it's like, you can be a little bit easier, or like, I never really post like salesy things to my personal page because I don't want people to come to my page. You know, we say treat it like a storefront. I don't want people to think of me as salesy. I want them to know me, but then I also do these things. And so in that event page, you can post things like that. Like, here's before and afters. Here's how much it is. You know what I mean? You can post those things that you wouldn't normally post on your regular Facebook page in an event page because that's what the event is about.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of time too, people don't read the description.
Never.
Like they're like, well, I saw the invitation, but I don't really know what it's about. And I'm like thinking in my head, it literally says in the description everything like that it consists of. Like all you have to do is read it. But if you just have those breadcrumbs and you post in it, like, here's some pictures, here's some recipes, those are the things that entice people. And they're like, oh, sweet, like, that's an awesome meal prep idea. And then they like it or they comment on it. And it's like, hey, these are the type of things that we do in our groups. And then you can kind of get the ball rolling and talk about it that way. Because obviously most of the time they don't read it. Does anyone have any questions or anything that they've found has been working for them that they want to share, that even if it has nothing to do with challenge groups?
I recently put my goals in front of me, so I feel a little more motivated every day. I want to show you guys. I'm like super proud of it. I got this really cute board. It's like a blackboard.
Ooh.
And it has like my coaches on it. And I started this thing where I reach out to 15 people, like the same people throughout the month, like their stuff and comment on their stuff. So you're building like a relationship and not just being like, oh, you don't want to join? Okay, bye, never. And then down here, I put all my goals for the year. So having it right in front of me, it's like, okay, you better get to work. Stop scrolling social media.
Where did you get that board?
Someplace in Japan.
Oh, it's like so accessible for us here in the U.S.
I know. I'm like, that's cute. I've never seen something.
They legit call it the monkey store because that's the only thing Americans can decipher on the side.
Well, I think that's good just in general to have, like, because you can say all day you want to help people and you get people signed up and committed, but if you don't have like a destination or like something written down, like this is something I want to reach or this is a goal I want to hit, you're kind of just blindly just doing the daily activities but never actually building anything for yourself. So that's good.
What made me do that was going to Summit. If you're not going to Summit this year, guys, you need to go, because that is like a huge game changer. And seeing everyone else get recognized and me just sitting there felt like crap. So it really lights a fire in your butt.
Mm-hmm.
Under your butt, not in your butt. That's weird.
And it's in New Orleans. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know many people who've been there.
I'm flying from Japan to go. You guys have no excuse.
Well, we will not be driving this year, I can tell you that.
Come on, the drive was fun.
It was fun. It really wasn't that bad. But yeah, me and Car were actually just looking at Airbnbs because we're trying to decide if there's going to be a big group of us. We might just see if it's much cheaper just to rent a big house.
I want a bed this year.
I know. Well, that's like some of those houses, it's like they count like couches as beds and stuff, but we're gonna look into that because we're like, you know what, if we have a place where we're like, this is where you're staying and it's just like get yourself there and like this is how much it costs, and I feel like more people are gonna be like, great, because I know for me it's like I feel stressed out when I don't know where I'm staying or like I've never been there, so where do I look? And obviously there's hotels on the Summit website that Beachbody has like a group rate for too. But if there's a big group of us and we can find a big enough house or whatever and it's not a bad location, it would probably end up being a lot cheaper. So we're going to look into that.
Yeah, and it's more fun. I feel like, especially if you kind of had reservations on like, oh, I don't know if I would love to go, but I don't know if I actually will. It's just like one extra thing you don't have to figure out. And like something like that would be like, okay, well, if we're all getting a house together and we all get to just like hang out, even though we'll probably not be in the house hardly any of the time.
Don't expect to sleep, eat, or like anything.
No, seriously. And you don't even care that you don't sleep because you're just like, you feel like you're on speed the entire time you're there.
God.
True.
But that's a whole nother team call, Summit.
Yeah.
But we have a little under 10 minutes left. But so if you are on this call and you don't have an event page going or you don't have a date for a challenge group, as soon as you get off of this call, I would literally just go in your phone or look at your calendar, go 2 to 3 weeks out on a Monday, and that's the day of your challenge group. And I would create an event today and I would start having those conversations. And it can be as little as like when you're posting, if you're just posting about your workout that day or whatever you're posting about your own accountability journey, add at the bottom, like, could you benefit from accountability too? Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be these like blunt in your face all the time, I'm hosting this type of thing. But like always remind people in your mind, like when you're posting a recipe or if you like struggled that day to get your workout done, but you did it because you're in a group where 20 other people logged their stuff, like talk about that on your page. Like that was the last thing I wanted to do today, but because I logged into my group and 20 other girls already did their workout today, like I went and did mine. And people will start to see like what Car was saying, those breadcrumbs that you're leaving. And then when you do put up that post or do a little bit more of a blunt invite, or you have that private conversation or whatever, they get the invite to the event page, like they're going to be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. Like, I want more info on that. I want to know like what she's doing because it's working for her. That's all anyone wants to know is that like it's working for you. And that doesn't always need to be like a 20-pound weight loss. But it's like there's a lot of people just being in this business for almost 3 years that I never thought would message me, or when I reached out to them that they would join. And it's like they will say like, I've been following you for a long time, like, but I was afraid to reach out to you. Or, you know, it's like they almost need to see that like you're legit in this business. And that's another thing with hosting a group every month is people know you're for real. And it's like some people are like stubborn and need to see like, well, I need to see that, you know, Elise is actually doing what she says she's doing and she's showing up. And it's like, so if you're just posting, you know, your daily journey, it's going to be proven to them. And then they're going to be like, all right, I'll try it type of thing.
Mm-hmm. I stalked Ash for like a year before joining. Like I remember going through her albums. I was like, look at her transformation pic. She looks awesome. And then I told her no like 5 times.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what I feel like. I don't know what I should be posting right now because I'm so used to posting my workouts every single day, but with having shingles, I can't work out right now. So I feel like I'm just like, I don't want to post Shakeology every single day. So I'm like, what do I post today?
I mean, you could just talk about like, I would talk about the struggles of like obviously being sick and you're not feeling well, but like you have this community of people behind you that like keep you motivated, or you know, even if it's not a picture of your shake, like at least you got like your good nutrients in for the day in one, you know, meal or whatever type of thing. And just share things like that, or like snack ideas or whatever you're eating, or it doesn't always need to be fitness. I think as long as you keep just sharing your story, like, and just stay present on social media, you're not going to lose like that momentum.
All right.
Thanks. Talk about the community aspect. Like when you're, you know, recovered from shingles and everything, you're not going to be using that as an excuse to give up, and you're not going to fall off the fitness trap completely. You have this community of people that are going to get you back in it once, you know, you're recovered and everything.
Right.
Bree said, do people have a go-to cover pick for group pages they think attract the most attention? I would say less busy. It's kind of like the same thing when you're posting on your social media. Clear picture. You want a big, like, especially because you're most likely writing like what your group is called or whatever. You want it to be very clear, but in that cover picture, you don't need to put like lists of what your group is going to be about. And like if you're going to include a picture, I would include yourself rather than just like a stock image. Kind of the same thing goes for how you would post on your page, because you want people to then go on the actual event page and like see what the group is about.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think too, if you're going to use anything that's not you, have it be like food, or like the one I just did today was a Pinterest photo of a smoothie in a mason jar, like not a Shakeology cup, not like another random girl holding the smoothie. And then I did some meal prep packages, but I faded everything. And then the words were just like short, and it was like all one line was the one word, big and bold. Because I found when I first started, I did a lot of like people from Google, like girl with abs, or like girl doing lunges, or like Tony Horton. And it's like, they don't want to join that. Like they want to join it because of you and what you can provide them. So unless it's a photo of you or like a cute photo of like a smoothie or something, you don't really need any pictures. Sometimes I don't do any pictures at all. I just do like a light gray background with cute font and have it just be super simple and just plain and crisp.
I actually just went through and deleted all of my old groups on Facebook before like the whole app thing, and I saw how awful my cover photos were. They were made up. I'm not gonna lie, they're so ugly. And one thing that I've noticed that's really helped me is use legit like programs. I can't even think. Apps. That's the word. WordSwag has helped me a ton. It's $5, but it's worth the $5. I use it all the time. They have cute backgrounds.
I just saw too that now they have different templates. So you can, did you see that? You can click Facebook
like
cover photo. So like before, because I didn't have, when I first up until like a year and a half into my business, I didn't have a computer. So I was using my phone and my iPad, and like you couldn't do PicMonkey on an iPad or a phone. I think there's an app now. I've never tried it, but we use PicMonkey pretty much the most, but you have to be on a computer for that. You have to actually be, since it's a website. If you guys ever want like a tutorial on how like we use PicMonkey or whatever, there's a ton on YouTube, but that's something we could always go live about. We want to just do like little snippets in the team page that you guys can catch whenever. We can do that. But also, yeah, I just saw on WordSwag, which is an app, like Jess was saying, you have to pay for it, but we use that all the time too. You can put like fancy words on it. They have different templates now. So there's a Facebook cover photo option that you can choose, so you can make it right on your phone, which is nice and easy. So those things, I mean, investing in your business is great. And also like all of that stuff counts as a tax write-off too. So you can keep track of all that.
I think we're going to get kicked off here in a second. But do you guys have any last questions on anything before we hop off for the night? Okay. I'll post a recording of this in the morning, and I tried to figure out how to post the recording of my live video. I downloaded this app, so you have to download like your video to the app that posts it to YouTube because it was like too long to post, whatever. So I'll get it up eventually, but they will all be on the YouTube channel.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Thank you again for joining.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.